What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another SLA video. All right, guys, we got a little bit of a topic to discuss here, especially with the upcoming future of Infusion and specifically revolving around the Win team. Okay, so look, if you guys haven't done so already and finished WOBL, it's fairly simple. I know Win was a really crazy monkey wrench into the whole system, but I gotta admit, after completing it, and I'll put a guide out for the Win team, it was actually a joke. And I've got a pretty mediocre Win team considering I only recently just got them up to A5 and A4. So there's my Leonard right there. Just literally focused on him recently. And his skills are only level 7, by the way, all the way across the board, except for his ultimate, which I did 10. Jenna, all level 6 skills. Also what did I get her? A2 weapon. It's my free-to-play account, by the way. So you're wondering what the hell's going on, Payne. We got her to, what is she? A6 randomly. And then, of course, we have ourselves Goto, where is he? There he is. What the hell? Why is he so high? We don't even have him maxed out here. Using Sarin's weapon, because I don't have his weapon, at A4. And I'm going to tell you guys now, as it stands, these guys are absolutely bonkers and have always been absolutely bonkers as they currently are. But with the meta shifting again as usual, and honestly, Win being the love child of solo leveling, I'm convinced that's the case, we're going to see a massive shift again. And I'm talking about like a massive shift for Wind becoming the meta yet again, and I'm talking about in a big way. But before I go into that and why that's going to happen, I want to remind everybody real quick, content creator program still going on, guys. The end is very close to the season. We're 4 days away until the new season, or maybe even 3 days away from the new season starting. So make sure, if you haven't done so, guys, log into your account right here under my page and go into the section where you can re-support again. So all you got to do is go into the support page. There's an extension button, hit that extend, that way you continue getting codes. There's 2 more codes on the way for anyone who extends, plus anyone who is not extending, you're gonna miss out on those, unfortunately. So make sure you hit that extend button, plus anyone who is not supporting right now, hit that support button. It's absolutely free. Remember, it's pinned to every single section of every video, plus descriptions and comment sections. It's pinned. And guys, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and get all that fun jazz in there. All right, so let's go over this and talk about what I'm referring to. So if you don't know, Sugamoto is coming out. That is Goto's successor when Goto passes away, of course. And he is going to be coming out in the month of March. All right. Now, originally, he wasn't supposed to be Wind. From what I'm understanding, he was supposed to be a different element altogether, but they decided to change it up and make it Wind anyways. Because of Igris's change, of course, Igris was supposed to be our Wind Infuser. And a lot of people suspect that's the reason why we're seeing the last boss, the rock passive version of Hunters being Wind. Was originally created to have Igris be the one that you're supposed to use for there. Now, with that being said, I'm going to highly recommend, guys, if you haven't already done so, to start building up your Wind team now, because that team is going to be absolutely dominant pretty much in every single content there is. It's usually how it goes. Win has always been, in my opinion, the main element for the devs to actually love. Now, if you haven't already done so, like I said, go try out the last stage if you can get to that point. And if you have a decent Win team, just look how easily they dominate that entire fight. And I'm talking about like mediocre setup for myself, because my Win team just literally hit that point and I'm absolutely dominating. So who do you want to build and what do you want to build? So here's what you want to focus on. Jenna is an absolute must-have. She is a must-have. There's no ifs or buts about it. Completely ignore Hansime for now, unless you're really focusing on Guild Boss, which I think is obviously going to be, she's still going to play a pretty major role. But if you're avoiding Guild Boss and your goal is going to be WOBL, or let's say it's going to be, I don't know, even POD, then, remember, POD is going to be disappearing soon, then you should really focus on 3 different units right now. I would say 2 mostly, just for the time being, to be safe. So the first person you want to focus on, of course, is going to be Leonard. Leonard is going to be your main DPS, and he is still one of the top DPSs in the game as he stands, and he's fairly old now. We're talking about like a few months old, right? So definitely focus on getting yourself up there and you getting Leonard up right now as your main DPS. I don't think he's going to be replaced with Sugimoto. I think Sugimoto is being planned to be an Infuser. Now, don't forget, Antoine was also originally expected to be a Wind unit, so we may have back-to-back Wind units, and of course a national level Hunter coming out is a pretty big deal for a lot of people, just by status purposes. But I think what they're going to end up doing with Antoine is, because he was a healer in the manhwa, he'll probably end up being your support. So we may see Jinna get replaced, but as it stands right now, your second unit that you want to focus on is gonna actually end up being Jinna. Jinna has a lot to offer as a what if character, not only as a decent DPS for a support, but also the buffs that she brings to the game for the Wind team. So those are going to be your two main focuses on the Wind side of things, okay? Especially for the Hunter side. Now, of course, speaking of Wind, the actual SJW Wind skills are still some of the most sought after skills and weapons in the game, right? If we're talking about like weapons, still one of the greatest weapons in the game by far. The Stormbringer, still one of the best DPS weapons in the game when it comes down to Wind is Demon King Dagger, even though it's super old. So we should probably see a replacement, at least for the very least, for this Demon King Dagger. Now, commish daggers are supposed to be coming out eventually. I could see them being Wind as well, just so they again be very dominant, or they'll be fire, right? So but fire already kind of had its love now with Inoue's Roar, plus it had the Reduru's spear. So I could see the Demon King daggers being replaced with that instead, right? With commish dagger. So expect something like that, I would imagine eventually. That's just my guess. It's not a leak by any means, guys, but that's my guess on it. So for SJW, the weapons are actually really powerful and really strong. So Wind will again probably dominate. Now when it comes down to skills, I think the only thing that Wind is really missing, it's got one of the best break skills in the game / debuff skills in terms of armor break, right? If you look at the skill section, what I'm referring to specifically for those who don't know is, so we have Thunderstorm, of course, I think the best QTE skill in the game by far, and then we have this skill right here, right there. So Vacuum Wave, right? With legendary, with Mythic, it does 17% damage increase on the opponent for 12 seconds, which is a lot, guys. And now because we have the new infusion skills right here, you guys can see this is going to be used more often than not now. And quick strike damage dealt to targets affected by Wind overload increased by 35%. So this is going to be a massive damage increase during the overload session. So you can see this will probably be used next in line rather than anything else that we have currently, even over the kicks and everything like that. I would imagine this will be our next big one to be used with Vacuum Wave. So you can probably see with anything Wind related, where it's probably going to be pretty dominant. So I would say, guys, Wind is probably going to come back as a meta setup again for SJW and for the Hunters. And so get ready for Sugimoto. And if you are going to compete for hard mode, and if you care about hard mode, you're probably going to want to save for that. Now, the only thing I'll say, just because it does matter, is you don't have to get, if you are aiming for the top 1k to top 6k, well, let's say those numbers, you don't need to finish Hunter mode, at least before. They may change that at any time. So far, as long as you finish the Sun Jinu portion of it, you'll be okay. And I can prove that because I didn't finish Hunter mode on Valtaire in top 6,000, but I did finish with SJW, and I still ended up getting the costume and everything. So that's proof to me that will still maintain, and that's not planning to change anytime soon. So for those who just care about getting the new skin plus the title and everything plus the 1k achievement or the 6k achievement, all you need to do is finish with SJW. And if that's the case, then Wind is not really a big factor for you. Wind, as a matter of fact, should be the last thing you worry about, because again, finishing Hunter mode with a raw pass is not going to make a difference for that standing. So instead, you want to focus on Dark, and Dark should really be where you put all your focus on. But for those who care about every other content that's coming out, Wind is most likely going to take over and most likely going to dominate, as long as Sugamoto is in fact going to be the infuser and not Antoine, right? If Antoine's the infuser, then of course you can wait and see what happens next. But if Wind does get their infuser next, get ready for complete domination, because right now, as it stands, Wind is still probably the best team on the entire roster when it comes down to not having an infuser. And the moment you add an infuser to that, I feel like it's game over, right? So that's my take on it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.